Thank you, Dr. Nadesh. Let me go to the topic directly. The impact of sexually transmitted diseases in sexual health. Thanks to the organizers of the SHARP 2023 and Dr. Nadesh Prabhu and Dr. Varghese. We have seen many of the epidemics in the past. COVID-19, we have seen recently. Dengue just before that. And in the early 19th century, we have seen the epidemic of influenza. And many of you may not be aware, there was an epidemic of syphilis in the early 16th century. At that time, the French soldiers called it as Italian disease because only after soldiers had sex with the local women, and when these French people had the sex, they got the ulcer. And the Italians called it as French disease and vice versa. And landmark discovery was made during this period, the discovery of New World, that is United States of America. And the person discovered was Columbus, and 74 soldiers went along with Columbus. These soldiers were life sentence prisoners, and they were forced to accompany Columbus. When they landed in the States, they called the women, local women, as Red Indians, and these people had sex with the Red Indian women. And when they came back, they joined the army and spread the disease throughout the Europe in a very short time, since frequent wars were taking place. And there was an epidemic of syphilis in the early 16th century. And even HIV or AIDS was an epidemic in the sub-Saharan African country, where 30% of the adult population were having these infections. So what I wanted to stress was the administrators, health administrators, have to give importance to the sexually transmitted diseases more than the tuberculosis or malaria, because sex is a basic human right. Unlike other physiological processes like respiration, urination, intercourse produces pleasure, which is specially called orgasm. Sex, even though a weak point for human beings, it is a nature's strong point in the propagation of species. Society and culture tries to stimulate by way of marriage. In whatever religion, whatever culture, we advocate marriage and permit couples to have sex. If male or female indulges in premarital or extramarital contact, the chances of acquiring sexually transmitted infections becomes more. More than 1 million, that is 10 lakhs, sexually transmitted infections are acquired every day. Yesterday night we had been here, and today, by this time, 10 lakh people have got sexually transmitted diseases all over the world. Each year, an estimated 334 million new cases with one of the 4 curable STI, that is chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and trichomoniasis. More than 500 million people in the age group of 15 to 49 are estimated to have a genital infection with herpes simplex virus, HSV1. Human papilloma HPV infection is associated with over 311,000 cervical cancer deaths each year. Almost 1 million pregnant women were estimated to be infected with syphilis in 2016, resulting in over 350,000 adverse birth outcomes. STI have a direct impact on sexual and reproductive health through stigmatization, infertility, cancer, pregnancy complications, and can increase the risk of HIV. Drug resistance is a major threat to reducing the burden of STI worldwide. More than 30 different bacteria, viruses, parasites are known to be transmitted through sexual contact, including vaginal, anal, and oral sex. In fact, all contagious disease can spread through sex because the contact is more intimate and more prolonged during sex. Some STI can also be transmitted from mother to child during pregnancy, childbirth, and breastfeeding. 8 pathogens are linked to the greatest incidence of STI. Of these, 4 are curable. I told you syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and trichomoniasis. Other 4 are incurable: hepatitis B, HSV, HIV, and human papillomavirus. In addition, emerging outbreaks of new infections that can be acquired by sexual contacts, like in monkeypox, Shigella soleri, Neisseria meningitis, Ebola, and Zika, as well as the re-emergence of neglected STIs such as lymphogranuloma venereum. These herald the increasing challenges in the provision of adequate service for STI prevention and control. So, no continent is free from sexually transmitted disease. More found in the African country, India and other Asian countries, and lesser extent in Europe and other countries. And wherever SE was prevalent, now HIV seems to be there in the same proportion. Sub-Saharan Africa followed by India. See, whenever we speak of epidemiology in undergraduate, we always remember the triangle, epidemiology triangle, agent, host, and the environment. Agent, I had already enumerated that 30 more organisms can cause, and host, it may be any adult from the age of 15 to 50 or even 60s is vulnerable to get things. And the environment, as you know, due to urbanization, globalization, easy travel, and to go for jobs away from home, these are, and peer influence, they force the STI to on the rise again. So, whenever a person engages in premarital contact, soon after the contact, in the early morning when he goes to the toilet, as Dr. Murugan said, he retracts the prepuce and with curiosity sees the penis. And he notices certain things projecting there. These are called polypenile papules or ectopic sebaceous glands or Fordyce glands. He presumes that he has got the sexually transmitted disease. And there is no STA with an incubation period of 12 hours, not less than 1 day. So this condition, venerophobia, is defined as an exaggerated or irrational fear of contracting venereal disease following an isolated or multiple episodes of sexual intercourse. Being a lesser known entity in dermatology, very less cases are recognized and reported. It is a condition that is observed exclusively in males. In females, they have the vaginal discharge as a normal thing. 1-2% of them they have. So when they can consider the STI discharge as a normal one. And moreover, the ulcers are painless and they are hidden inside, so she will not notice the ulcer even if it is present. So, for incubation, for any disease, infectious disease, we have the incubation period. It is the time interval between the entry of the organisms and the onset of signs and symptoms. In chancroid, it is 1 to 14 days, gonorrhea 2 to 30 days, trichomoniasis 5 to 28 days, syphilis 9 to 90 days, chlamydia 14 to 21 days, HIV 3 weeks to 3 months and more, genital herpes short incubation period, hepatitis B medium incubation period, scabies, genital warts, it can be more than 3 months or 6 months. So, when the incubation period is long, whatever disease he gets, a person gets, may not attribute to the contact through which he got the disease. He may think that he got the disease from his wife rather than the contact which he had 3 months or 6 months earlier. And sequelae of sexually transmitted diseases are global and national health priorities because of the effect on women and infants and interrelationship with HIV and AIDS. STI can cause a variety of long-term health problems. Sequelae of STI, pelvic inflammatory disease, infertility, tubal or ectopic pregnancy, cervical cancer, perinatal or congenital infections with infected mothers. So for all the sexually transmitted diseases, majority of them, can be cured by syndromic management advocated by CDC and NACO. So this is the genital ulcer non-herpetic. And for herpetic, we have another color-coded medicines. And urethral discharge also we have a syndromic and vaginal discharge, lower abdominal pain, inguinal pubo, painful scrotal swelling. So whenever a patient comes for treatment, apart from treating the patient, we have to do little bit counseling and educate them. And many of you have spoken about health education to school children, college children. So we have to stress that friendship should not cross boundaries at any time. We have to, if they indulge in sex before marriage, and the best example we can give is every bulb has got so many hours of burning hours. If you process that, it may get fused. Same way, people who indulges in premarital sex in most of the times, they have to come to the sexologists for erectile dysfunction early, even during 40 years, 45 years, like that. So, and we have to stress about misuse atrophy. In pathology, we always speak about misuse atrophy and disuse atrophy. Disuse atrophy, nowadays people are postponing marriages. They don't want to get married before the age of 30, late 20s, like that. They want to get settled in life and get married. And they have to, and these newly married people come to sexologists for erectile dysfunction thing. So disuse things can also be there. And when they are married people, the relationship should be mutual, trusted and long lasting. So A is abstinence till marriage, B is for be faithful to the marital partner. C is those who cannot hear to our A and B advice. We have to tell them advocate condom, never condemn condom. And these people, if they don't use condom, get the sexually transmitted disease, we have to treat them at the earliest so that they do not spread the infection either to the wife or other partners. So drugs are available for treating many of the sexually transmitted diseases effectively. So when the patient comes to or the people or teenager or the early 20s, if they come to know that they can get treated with easy drugs, that too single dose drugs, and they become promiscuous. Many times they become promiscuous. Promiscuity is indiscriminate indulgence in sex, not bothering about the partner, place, or time of sex. Control strategies, health education of the risk group on how to avoid STI through changes in sexual behaviors, modification of sexual behavior, barrier contraceptive, safer sex, pre-exposure vaccination with hepatitis B, hepatitis E, and human papillomavirus. Identification of asymptomatically infected persons and symptomatic persons unlikely to seek diagnostic and treatment services. Early diagnosis and treatment of symptomatic cases. Partner notification, evaluation, treatment and counseling of partners, and research. So this is a course we run in IMA, College of General Practitioners, and this is the syllabus we deal with, and course coordinator Dr. Narayan Reddy sir and myself. Eligibility, IMA and IMA CGP life membership. Course fee is 25,000 rupees. Duration of course is 6 months. Well, first class and last class offline at Chennai. Class 2 to 9 online twice a month. So admission you can contact imatamilnadu@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for elaborating on STA. certain STI like gonorrhea and chlamydia by way of producing prostatitis and epididymitis in men, and in female PID they can affect sexual performances and sexual function. And when we have personal interview with the HIV infected couple, they abstain from sex. Most of the time they abstain from sex after the diagnosis of HIV. But nearly what we see in MSM is they are practicing unsafe sex even after the diagnosis of HIV. So in either case we need counseling and further treatment. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Nadesh Prabhu for giving me this opportunity. And it's a very great privilege for me to chair the session of my venereology teacher, Dr. Balasubramanian sir, and my HIV treatment guru, Dr. Murugan sir. Thank you.
I request the chairperson to felicitate the speaker.
So, yeah, I'm happy to say that Nadesh was one of the very good student. And he has shown his capacity to organize such an international conference, inviting all the reputed speakers all over India.
Thank you. Thank you.